And this is a really big deal for us because Whitney and I promised ourselves and our coworkers that we would get the podcast back back on track. And here we are in week 2 getting it done. So I'm very proud of ourselves. Should give a quick shout out to super producer Alejandro Ray from Rex Frames. Anyone in South Florida needs a good video guy or any sort of social, this kid's awesome. He's on the other side of the camera, so you can't see him. Our agenda is always kind of the same. A little bit of what's going on in the industry, a little bit of something special about BPI, and then a special guest. Former employee, peptide science expert, legitimately solid national level competitor bodybuilder DT Roth is going to join us in a couple minutes. You don't want to miss that. But before we get into it all, Whit, December's here, kind of November just ended, BFCM. What did you see in the marketplace?
So huge Black Friday, Cyber Monday. The one thing that I noticed was just the amount of customers swarming the web looking for supplements. It seems like it never ends, right? You think that the marketplace is crowded, but it seems like every year there's more and more consumers trying to get into fitness, supplements, anything workout related. And for the most part, I saw every other ad on TikTok was supplement or fitness related. So it was exciting to see that. I'm sure most brands had high conversions. I know we did well with our advertising.
I feel like there's more and more brands looking to get into fitness, not necessarily more and more customers. It is a very crowded space. But yeah, we had a great Black Friday. Our digital assets, not just our website, but TikTok was booming. So it was pretty cool. I mean, did you see anything from other brands or anything in the marketplace that you thought was cool?
Nothing interesting, just a lot of ads out there.
What did you buy on Black Friday? I know you bought something.
I bought gifts for my wife, gifts for my son, nothing for me.
It's true, but some cards, right?
I did get some cards. I'm a card collector, so I did buy some cards.
Yeah, for those that don't know, we could do a whole episode on Whitney's card collecting. It actually is quite impressive. But listen, we're going to stay focused on the supplement and fitness world for this podcast, but who knows what's next. And as always, we want to pause for a minute to recognize one of our great BPI products. And this week, I want to talk about Best Creatine. This has been a winner for the BPI Sports brand for quite some time. And 2 things about this that I want you to think about at this exact moment in time. Number 1, Best Creatine is differentiated from other creatines because it's a blend of 6 different creatine sources. Is one better than the other? Frankly, I don't know. But I also don't give a shit because they're all in there. That's the beauty of Best Creatine. Everything you've heard about creatine is combined into one product with a full efficacious dose of the creatine that's going to make you stronger. But with December being here, we all know that you're going to be falling off your diet plans, eating extra calories, and getting a little sloppy. And guess what? That's okay. But why not supplement that sloppiness or that clean bulk that you might want to call it with the best muscle building product in the world, that being creatine? So with this said, BPI's Best Creatine is a wonderful product, not just at this time of year, but really any time of year, with a unique differentiator of the creatine blend of multiple creatines, not to mention it's flavored and not your basic white powder like this. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it's not for everybody.
Yep, and I would like to add, don't be afraid to take more than 5 grams a day. There are a lot of great studies out there right now showing all of the benefits from going up to 10, 15, even 20 grams a day. I couldn't do 20 grams a day. I think it would upset my stomach. But don't be afraid to take just 5 grams a day.
And with that said, just to be legal, if ever you're not sure about your supplements, always consult a doctor.
Right.
But personally, I'm at 10 to 15 gram a day when I'm on. I don't even mean to be. I just am because I love it so much, and it's helped me a ton over the years. Another little piece of industry news. It's a little quiet in the industry in December. So just to point things out, the next big thing coming up is going to be the Arnold. Whitney and I are going to be out there. BPI has always been to the Arnold. Every year I've been in the industry since 2007. With the exception of the COVID year, I've done the Arnold. And I always want to praise my good friend, Lloyd Davis, he is actually the formal promoter of the Arnold now.
Wow.
Like if you look on the NPC website, it'll say Winter Classic, Mel Clancy, Arnold Classic, Lloyd Davis.
That's huge.
Yeah. And we should get Lloyd on too to talk about the Arnold. So that's great. But this week's guest is a former employee of ours, former salesman here, DT Roth. Just to let you know why he's going to be worth listening to. DT is a successful bodybuilder, having won several local shows, nationally qualified. He started working at a GNC at least 15 years ago, so he's seen every product come and go, and he's currently involved in the peptide space, as well as doing online coaching and who the hell knows what else. And that's what we're going to find out. So don't go away. We're going to cut right back. DT is going to be on with all kinds of interesting stuff.
All right, we're back, and we are live with none other than my favorite former BPI employee, and co-owner of BioXL. Can I say co-owner? Co-owner of BioXL and all-around good guy, DT Roth.
I think Joe Hudson already posted a comment that you said my favorite former employee.
Yeah,
First to
yeah.
comment, Joe
No,
Hudson.
I appreciate it so much. Thank you so much. When I saw this, I was telling Alejandro when I saw the post with you guys doing the podcast, I was like, I immediately was like, when am I coming on this thing? Just as a joke, and Chris like, well, you're coming on.
Well, you were on the list, and then I thought because you know Alejandro as well, you'd be a great second guest, because our first guest was here with us, one of our athletes, Shadia, and then I needed somebody that can handle tardiness and retardiness, so I figured you'd be a great guest.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you so much.
So look, you're an exciting guy to talk to. I don't know how many BPI people remember the old days. So just to tee it up, DT used to work here, amongst other places. He's been around the industry, and he currently is a partner as a part owner and operator in a peptide science business, helping people reach their goals through those kinds of supplements, not necessarily through sports nutrition supplements. And I do want to talk about that. We have no holds barred. We're not trying to keep another business out of our podcast or anything like that. But the first thing I would ask you, DT, just because it's fun, you worked here on two trips around the industry. What was your time frames with BPI?
I was with BPI from 2014 all the way till 2019, if I'm not mistaken. Yes.
And then, without saying anything that could get anyone fired, what's like one or two of your favorite? People don't know. This place used to be so fucking crazy. Like, you can't even imagine. You can't explain it. So maybe like one or two anecdotes could just give people a taste for the shit that used to go on around here and the industry, but at BPI.
I think okay. So the ownership back then, can I talk about that?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Derek was crazy. By far the craziest shit that I've ever gone through in my whole entire life, up until, still to this day. I've never worked for someone like that.
Once in a lifetime experience, only that once in 10 years, but yeah.
It was probably the most traumatic, but yet growing experience that I've ever been a part of. And I say that because when someone's telling you, stand up, sit down, stand up back in, you're stupid, you're never, like, that stuff, when I look at it, when you're getting told those things, you're like, what the fuck? But as you grow older and you start to learn people, that is just someone kind of displaying their own caring for their own company. I've never understood why owners care so much until you're in that position. And then you realize, like, this is all I have. If this doesn't work, what else do we do? So, needless to say, the who we used to work for. And honestly, I truly miss, and there's a lot of stuff, but like, I truly miss the brotherhood of what we had. I've never worked for a company since BPI that had that close-knit caring. Whether we went to the trade shows, whether it was in-house, whether we went to lunch, it was just those small details, getting coffee in the morning and then starting our day. We used to sit in the lunchroom. Those small details, that's what I miss. I know that's not like crazy stories, but like that's truly what I personally, us going to the place off University for the chicken place that we used to go by. Yes. Us going to the fucking terrible pub. God damn. Like,
so one memory I have, like, obviously there's this legendary one where you had the bad sneakers and you were told you're not allowed to wear them anymore.
Yes.
But another memory that just sums up BPI in those days, you and Raf were both, bodybuilders prepping for a show, and we're at your desks having your chicken and rice. And for some reason, it got under his skin, and he banned people from eating during the day. Like, you weren't allowed to eat at BPI. Yeah. It was just like, that was the rule.
Yeah, it was a very interesting moment in my upcoming within bodybuilding that someone told me that a gallon of water might be too much water for me. Why are you drinking so much? Like, I don't know what it was about me. Well, I do know, but like every time I was in the hallways, this guy was there. And I was like, why do I have to, like, I just have to take a piss.
Zero breathing, I know.
And it's like, one of the things that comes to my mind, swear to God, I'm sitting at the desk, closest to your office on the right, where Ralph's old desk used to be. I know I transferred over there. And like, it's fucking like 9 o'clock. What the fuck is going on back here? What have you sold? Dude, I don't, nothing, you know? And look at the board. You're a 0. That's all you're ever going to be. I'm like, what the fuck, man? You know?
That
And
board.
the best part was, and I'll leave it on this. We used to sit back there and like, we're all like, ha 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 ha. And then the stealth of this guy would just creep in and he'd just be standing behind you. And you're just like, how's this guy so big and he walks so quiet? Like, I don't get it, you know?
I mean, imagine if we had like a modern millennial with all of their stereotypes
No.
in that office.
They wouldn't make it.
No.
They wouldn't
No. DT, how old were you when you started with us? I mean, you were young.
I was 24.
Yeah, you were young. So that was.
And we knew you for a year or two before that from your GNC days.
Yes, we had the Cutler tour.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think it was. I think it was BPI then with the blocks and all those products. We had the bus tour. Jess was driving the bus. You guys showed up in West Palm. We had the Big J event. Yeah, I mean,
was that the guys? Your franchise owner?
James Hans. Yeah, James. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Names from the past.
Yeah. So it's just crazy. I mean, it's really weird how in life just decisions can start and stop you from going throughout your future. And I say that as that, like, if I never left GNC to come with you guys, I would never be here where I'm at currently today. And it's just weird how life is. Once you start looking back, is that the right decision, not the wrong decision? No decision that you make is right or wrong. It's the decision, you know?
And it's life trajectory.
Yes, correct.
I will say I do miss those old days where we had all the outside reps would come to town, whether it was for Christmas or just bringing everybody to town, and we'd all go out to eat. We'd all work out together in the gym.
Everywhere we went, people were looking at us. They're like,
Yeah.
"What the hell are you people?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess most people don't realize. I mean, we had a massive team. I mean, at one point we had,
Just sales alone was 30 people.
30 some guys, and they would come in and we would all hang out. It was a lot of fun.
Remember
Things
that?
have changed.
Remember that time they fucked up Derek's food at the Lincoln Diner, and all of us got up and walked out mid-dinner
Oh my God.
on what 30 meals.
Yes.
I cannot believe. I mean, this is the stuff that I want to reminisce. You know,
I mean, and Matt Coleman went back and grabbed like a pancake and just walked out the door with a pancake in his hand.
it's
Like, fuck it, we're out of here. People are like, really? Yeah, and everybody just dropped their food, and we left 30 meals on the table.
like if you did not leave. I remember Raleigh was mad because he was eating. He's like, oh, "What the fuck? We're leaving." It's like, dude, if you don't leave, you're not gonna have a job. Like,
Yeah, you gotta go.
I just picture literally the kid picked up a pancake and walked out like eating on a pancake. It's like, yeah, I'm still hungry. Here we go.
Hey, and the best part about that whole experience is we continue to go to lunch there all the way until
we moved to this office.
office. So Derek, I mean, we just continued to go, and everybody was cool with it.
Water under the bridge, man.
I think one of the things that do stick out to me was one of the Arnold's. It was the Best Bar launch, and I think we had Cutler stacked with the Best Bar. I think we're doing all of that. And I remember when you guys like left, and because Derek's like, fucking let's go, you know, like, you know how let's go, and you're like, oh, okay. And I remember us having to pack up the booth, pack the Best Bars, pack all this shit, and then catch the flight. And we're trying to figure it all out. And we're like, dude, we don't know at this point if we're even going to make it home. And I think that's when Bo sliced his hand open.
Yes.
And he had to go to some sketchy hospital. He's like, hey guys, look at the room I'm in. I'm like, I've seen that room in Saw. And I don't know if this is a good idea. You know?
Hey, he just left me at the Arnold one year. We were on a private plane, and he just took the plane back. And I was just still in Ohio. And that was the end of that story. I was there till Wednesday, I think.
Now, speaking of that, that particular Arnold, were you in the group that was flying in later that was potentially going to have to drive because all of the snow, and we were going to rent a van, and it was a whole disaster?
So,
were you in that group? Or
Hey,
were you
it's
with
too dangerous to fly, so the only logical decision is drive through the snowstorm.
Got to drive.
So it's me, Ralph, Donnie, Manny, Abe,
Eddie.
It was fucking all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like all of us. We had
Connecting to Baltimore.
yes, we went into Baltimore and we had some girls with us too. I don't know who they were. I think Cammy, Kim.
Oh yeah, that girl.
You know
She was
who
a
I
good.
think,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
So it was her. So, you know, they start drinking. They're like, oh, let's get a couple of drinks. And then, of course, we're like, wow, we're not going to miss. Like, we're not going to take off. And Derek's like, you fucking get here. Oh, okay. Like, how are we all new? Ralph's the only one that's drove in the fucking snow, right?
Hey, everyone's from Florida. That's funny. I didn't even think of that. Yeah.
And we're like, I don't know, like, and Ralph's like, I can do it. We're like, dude, you've been drinking. Like, what the fuck you mean? You like, how are we gonna get here? Get in a van and fucking get here. Wow. I think Mark's fucking hiking on the side of a mountain with a U-Haul, right?
Yes.
Trucking along, trying.
God,
Mark was bringing samples from Wisconsin down
in a trailer, trailering on his car.
Oh, we had fun.
Oh, you can't make this shit.
Yeah,
Dude, I don't think anyone even gets it. So it's too hard to explain. Oh man.
Hey,
We
so-
should actually have like DT on for an anecdote, like the DT moment, like a funny BPI story every podcast.
every podcast, bring him on. Well, DT used to do the funny part of the podcast because he used to do What the F. I mean, that was
Yeah.
great. Remember
Yeah.
those?
Oh yeah. DT and
Man.
Andrea.
Yep.
I do want to say this, and you know, like, I wish I can. Yeah, I know I can contact James and Derek and just say thank you. You know, I know I could if I really try hard enough. It was also you guys too, and it's like I don't think you guys understand what type of impact you had on my life at that moment until now. I mean, you guys gave me a shot to do something really fucking dumb, to express myself in a way that I don't even think I knew I could on camera, and to where it's led up today with social media and all this stuff, and even has helped me out through when I left BP. Well, I didn't leave BPI. I was retarded. I did something stupid, and I was nicely let go from BPI a few months
I
later.
honestly can't remember. I can't even
Really?
remember.
Honestly, don't remember how that happened either.
So
Yeah, we
I
don't- That's
no,
all right.
it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, whatever. I put in my 2 weeks. I was getting hired from an HRT clinic. A clinic wanted to hire me,
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
and it didn't fall through. And being, I don't know, naive, or I was like, oh, I just won't go now. And it's like, well, dude, you already shot yourself in the foot.
Yeah, you don't get to. Yeah, you don't get to.
Yeah. So
But
you guys
actually-
kept me around for a bit.
Well,
So.
everything you guys just said is a really good segue to where I want to get to with the podcast, and just in the interest of time. So, when we met you, DT, you were a very young kid, literally working the cash register at a GNC, but you were awesome. You were cool. Everybody liked you, and you knew the supplement industry, and you could sell. You came to BPI. You went through the ringer, just like all of us. And since you've left, you've had good moves and bad moves, and in my opinion, speaking as kind of like big brotherly, you've landed in a great place, and I'm actually very impressed. And I want to compliment you, like as a friend. You've done a great job managing your career, and what I've seen you manage is a multi-level career between sales, entrepreneurialism, and social media. And I'm gonna. This is supposed to be a compliment, but it's going to sound, a little. But there was a while you were really working hard on social, and your socials weren't growing. You were just some other muscle guy doing silly shit, but you stuck with it. And now your social is really quite impressive, and you've leveraged that for your business. So the question I want to ask with all this is, how do you, and the mic will be all yours, how do you sum up the journey of building a fitness career? Because I think so many people, if they knew what you've done or see you, they would say, I'd love to have that career. Like one of our athletes was just here watching Gio. He just walked out. But like, I know if you could write a 5-step guide to owning a peptide business, he would buy it in a second and try to study it. Like, what is the path, the internal motivation, the end vision that gets you from a kid at a GNC store through the supplement space and into entrepreneurialism and honestly into success? Like, what were some of the driving factors, hindering factors, high points, low points along the way? Tell us.
So I think bodybuilding gave me this thing that I never thought I could be. I was always a fat kid growing up. I was always getting made fun of, and I never thought I was ever going to be worth enough. And I thought bodybuilding would help me understand that, and I could achieve it with bodybuilding. So that's why I pursued bodybuilding so hard, because I wanted to be somebody. I wanted to be something. And as you go along with it, you start to learn certain things, and you start to become who you are. You'll never be the Jay Cutlers of the world, because you're just not them. So you have to understand who you are, and you have to be okay with being you. Um, I think I think getting into how to grow your social media and how to become who you are is giving something that people will buy. And what I mean by that is not a product, that they're buying you. No matter what you're selling, it's buying you. And you have to have a niche. You have to have this special thing. Listen, there's thousands, of course, we know thousands of people that are in shape.